What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what the hell is happening, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is down 9.46%. Absolute bloodbath today, and $8.67 the low, $9.48 the high. So there was a little bit of optimism, and most likely this spike here was attributed to some of the in the money call options that expired last Friday, but again, that was somewhat short-lived. 18.9 million shares being traded, 46.5 is the average. So you're still not really seeing that level of institutions really buying the SoundHound dip, if that kind of makes sense. And as far as today, you are seeing so far this for the transactions on the secondary market above $100,000. So a lot of selling. So ultimately, this is what brought it down, added a little bit of stability. So three kind of consecutive buys, 102, 171,000, 140. But aside from that, it's just a bloodbath out there. And what's kind of interesting is there actually hasn't been any like true dedicated point that happened today. So Trump hasn't spoken about tariffs. There hasn't been anything changing. There's the PM change in Canada, which a lot of people are speculating could lead to a little bit more tensions, but that's everything right now is speculation for the future. So if you are one of those investors, even aside from SoundHound, that thinks bigger picture, take advantage, buy the dip, do what you need to do, because yeah, honestly, with a little bit of good data, such as even coming out tomorrow. So we have Jolt numbers tomorrow, CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday. If these are positive, the market is going to forget all of this and move higher. So it's kind of interesting. So as of right now, if you do believe in the dip and whatever else, then take advantage, do what needs to be done. But if you're one of those day traders or wanting to catch the bottom, it is a little bit more of a sticky scenario. No news, no SEC filings, nothing from them on social media, even on Reddit. Not a lot of people are talking about it. This one was rather interesting. I don't believe it though, but this individual is saying that historically, whenever there's a time change on a Monday, that does result in obviously a pullback. I think that's just BS if you ask me, but you never know. Anything is possible when it comes to the market. Shorts are taking advantage though of all this crap, and they are returning 135,000 shares. 28.3 or 73% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 101.42 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 4.28%. They surprisingly do have that big fireside chat tomorrow, so I'm going to be live streaming that. It is an early one, but nonetheless though, I don't know how the market's going to react to just everything, because Jolt numbers is going to be coming out first thing in the morning at 8 a.m. conveniently 1 hour prior to the fireside chat. So the market will be moving because of that. But like I stated in many videos in the past, I think it's just SoundHound, their utility is there. They just need to kind of sell themselves better, because a lot of companies right now are going to be looking at, okay, so what do we need to do? Do we need to lay off staff? How are we going to kind of improve our bottom line? And so essentially one way to do that is through SoundHound. I think a lot of people just see SoundHound as a cash burning company, and that is it. But they do add a lot of utility and benefit. So I think just the market needs to realize that. In all fairness, I think that is also SoundHound's problem, is they're not really selling it as best as they could. But I could be wrong. So aside from that though, shorts, like I said, aren't really doing all that much, taking advantage of the broader fear. Cost of borrow average is 4.28%. Moving over to options, you see 2 million in calls, 1.31 in puts. 52% of all the options being done are optimistic in nature. So despite the level of fear, there is a certain amount of individuals out there that feel that this pullback is unjust. And you can kind of see just based on the dollar values right here, 154,000 right here, 163,000 just between these 5-minute time frames. So big money is part of that 52% bullish. So big money sees more upside, and that's kind of the downfall of retail, is they panic sell, have too much emotion. And so I think essentially SoundHound, yeah, it could go down with the data, but if you think bigger picture, which institutions are, then you might see a little bit more upside. So let me know your thoughts on that. As far as the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 10.50 to 11, and then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly 7.50 to 8, or sub that amount. As far as right now, though, with that $8.81, it is right below this S1. So 8.87 is a must close above point today if you are going to see any sort of recovery. So 8.87, definitely watch for that. Low for today, I know I mentioned it already, but is $8.67. So it's been quite the crazy pullback in all honesty, but $6.96 is going to be that next strong support. Flip side, 11.97 followed by 15.06 is going to be the next strong target slash resistance points. So I think just retail is done with SoundHound right now. Maybe some people are buying the dip, but the sentiment is just so low. Again, I think just maybe some people didn't take profits when they should have, when it was higher. So they're just not in the best kind of scenario for SoundHound. So let me know your general thoughts on SoundHound. Have you been buying the dip? Have you been selling? What's been kind of your 2 cents with that? But aside from all that fun stuff though, there hasn't been any new ratings lately. Of course, unless something fundamentally changes, I don't see that also any new ratings coming out. Maybe they drop some news with the fireside chat, but unless we see an 8K as well at the same time, don't anticipate anything crazy as far as brand new news. But this is the current ratings. Last one was $26. 1580 is that consensus, and that does represent a 79.95% upside. So let me know your general thoughts on the chart itself. The next kind of very strong point to watch for is that 200-day moving average, and that is sitting at $8.28. So if it does break below that, then all hell is going to break loose. It is going to really pull back significantly. Probably around that $6 range, which is matching with this right here. So that's $6.96. So it's kind of crazy on how much it's gone down in a short span. So just over the last 1 month, down 43.3%. Over the last 6 months, though, still doing fairly good, up 90%. But still, like I said, I think a lot of people did get in at the high teens and whatever, and it obviously hasn't really worked out all that well for investors in that capacity. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to join me for the live stream tomorrow early on, or just watch the replay of it, but should be a fun ride. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers, calling out a lot of the big swings for today and have been so far fairly accurate. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.